What's up, historians? New Capenna hype is in full swing. We got some new cards, some new mechanics, and even some arena updates. Coming up on this nerd meets old-timey gangster episode of Mana Rant. But first, I'm Hoshi, Mana Rant's incompetent mob boss, and you are listening to the Mana Rant podcast, where, like always, I'm joined by one of the scariest Magic players I have ever faced. Not due to his skill level, of course, but that super massive bobblehead of his. Every time we play, I swear I can see that thing teetering around, and I am just afraid that gravity is finally going to give in, and I am going to be crushed to death. So thank God for MTG Arena. Oh yeah, and it's Drunken Dork, of course.
Thank you, Hoshi. I can always count on you to just really, lift me up by my bootstraps and make me feel good about myself. Appreciate it. I think, in the beginning I was like, oh, okay. Hoshi's like complimenting and like fucking I'm gonna dust off my shoulders here, complimenting my magic skills, and then all of a sudden you just shit on my day.
Right for the throat. Yeah, that's how I like to lure you in with the sweet stuff. Yeah
you do. Yeah, thank you, bud.
You're welcome, bud. and that leads us to Apollo, the running joke of the Mana Rant podcast, who is a real person who actually might have possibly been on today. Is supposedly, he said he's getting his equipment delivered to his house right now, but he did not get it up and running for the podcast. So maybe in 2 weeks, stand by for all of you who still don't believe us that he's real. he might be real. Maybe he's not. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. Anyways, welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining us. We're the Mana Dorks, and this is a Mana Rant podcast where we talk about just Magic the Gathering, but mainly focus on Arena and the historic format mainly. Our show moves through all the segments of Magic the Gathering, so the Untap, Upkeep, all that stuff, with the main phases being like our main topics of tonight, which is going to be mechanics and the actual new spoiler cards that are coming out for new Capenna. And with that, let's just start things off with jumping into the first phase of the show, which is the Untap phase.
Untap.
And Untap is where we untap some drinks that we're going to be enjoying during the show. So, Drunken, what are you untapping tonight?
Nothing exciting. I have a little bit of beer from my kegerator. Oh, I just completed a circle on my watch. Move goal. Apparently, I've been going like this. I move so little, I'm just a disgusting slug of a human being that just me flailing my arms, the tiniest little motion. It's like, oh, I'm proud of you.
They're like, you set a new record today. You moved your hands around a lot. Good job.
Yeah.
You even walked around the house a couple of times. That was pretty impressive.
You even went from your bed to your chair. That's amazing.
Wow, yeah. New record, new high record.
I need encouragement like this. Thank you, Watch.
I mean,
anyway, I'm drinking beer out of my keg, and then after that, I got a Dead Guy. I think it's almost done.
Yeah.
So I don't want to tap it out on the podcast because it just makes me look like that much more of a disgusting human being.
Yeah.
So I got Dead Guy Ale.
Dead Guy. Oh, nice. Yeah, that might lower people's opinion of you even further. So you don't want to do that,
Is that
right?
Possible? Really?
I think so.
Okay.
I was gonna drink some of my kombucha that I've been making, but I'm an idiot and I forgot to put some in the freezer, or in the fridge. So I am drinking once again this. What is it? Ducal?
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a macchiato milk stout, which is really
amazing.
Really good. Yeah, so I'm happy to be drinking this again, and yeah.
What? I got a question for you.
Sure.
Someone dropped this the other day, and they're telling me, because I make lattes at home, I fucking love them.
Mm.
Do you know what a macchiato is?
No.
Okay.
No idea.
He dropped this bomb on me the other day. I was like, I always associated macchiato with what's a Talladega Nights when fucking Borat or whatever that guy's name is.
Yeah.
He's
Sacha
like,
Baron Cohen.
Yeah. Macchiato.
I am a macchiato. Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually, I'm not going to explain. Let's move on with the podcast.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, cheers, everybody, and
Cheers.
let's have a good show. And with that, we'll move into our upkeep.
Upkeep, get ya upkeep.
And Upkeep is our Reddit rant segment where we look to the internet for people complaining about Magic the Gathering. So let's go to Facebook in the Magic the Gathering Arena MTG Facebook group that they got there. And we got Eric Fox today, and he spells his Eric with a K as well. So he's a edgy Eric. So let's see what Eric has to say.
Okay, what CE, we get it, you want to shove alchemy down our throats, but come on, do some special events for the other formats, Commander, Historic, Brawl, or Standard. Now do people still do them? Yes, as most offer packs, and like myself who doesn't play alchemy unless I have to, I do for the packs to use as wildcard pip. Edit. This isn't an anti-alchemy post. It is a plea to remember there are other game formats.
I tell you, I'm a sucker for any post that has edit in it after they've gotten their ass fried,
Shoot out, yeah.
So what do you think?
I love it. Honestly, I feel like you've been picking these ones that are near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
I find nothing wrong with Eric Fox's complaints.
Mm-hmm.
I feel exactly the same way. Like, it really does feel like sometimes it actually definitely feels like MTGA is run by two fucking people, right? They're they're like, all right, let's prioritize this and we'll do this for a while and we'll put Historic in the back burner.
Yep.
We'll put not Commander, but Brawl in the back burner. We'll completely forget about those formats. They never existed until they exist again. There's no consistency at all with MTGA, and that's exactly what I'm reading when I see this.
Yeah.
And I really, you know what, Eric Fox, you are a fox. He or she, because I agree completely.
Yeah.
Completely.
You know what? Alchemy must be they've probably run the numbers on it. Alchemy must be the most profitable format that they have going on MTGA in some way for them to be
so boring.
For them to be really pushing it as hard as they do. Because I mean, think about it. Standard was the most profitable thing that they had before because of the rotation, right? You had to just keep buying those new packs to keep up with Standard. But Alchemy has also the alchemy packs in it too, so there's more stuff that you actually need to buy to be up. So it's probably the most profitable thing that they can have on there. So that's my thought on why maybe they're pushing it so hard. Because other than that, it's just why are you I feel the pressure of them trying to be you like fucking alchemy. like it, this is what's good for you. I
mean, well, it's not only profitable because one, that the alchemy cards are not only used in alchemy, they're used in historic.
Yeah.
So the historic players are getting alchemy packs.
Absolutely.
The alchemy players are getting alchemy packs. The alchemy players and historic players are getting standard packs.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, it's that little in between, right? Where I guess it's a little easier entry point than historic.
I guess.
And a little stronger, a little harder entry point than standard if you want something in between. To me though, it just feels like standard plus. I know we talked about this before.
Absolutely.
But it's just it's fucking all right, if you like alchemy, you like alchemy. To me,
Absolutely.
It's boring. You see the same 5 decks, just like you do standard. There are a few other decks that maybe you can come in with and win a couple games, but the odds are low. You play something like historic, there's 20 different decks.
There's so much variation.
Yeah, and the format is constantly evolving. It's always a rock paper scissors format where something else is coming on top. A lot of people are playing maybe colorless Ugin decks, and then all of a sudden you start seeing these other decks again that you haven't seen in like a month or so that fight that deck, and like, man, fucking use your brain. Play Historic. Right?
I don't have a problem with alchemy at all. I actually like that it exists. I think it's a cool idea. I hate the fact that their cards affect Historic still. I don't know why they've still stuck with that. Everyone said it was a bad idea. They still want to do it. So just because of that, like, that leaves a bad taste in my mouth about alchemy. Other than that, like, it's just something that you can ignore. And the events like this, I think, are a good idea to like get people to play other formats and stuff. But yeah, if they're like just pushing alchemy all the time, you're like, hey, can we switch this up maybe a little bit? Try some other fun stuff. But yeah,
where is my beloved fucking Popper and what's the other one?
Artesian.
Artesian, dude.
Yeah.
I fucking like. I've seen Artesian and Popper in Standard, and I think I've seen it in Alchemy.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen Historic Artesian or Popper recently. And like, where is it? Like, these are things that they should just regularly be bringing, man.
Yeah.
Hire like 2 more people, double your staff, Watsy.
Yeah. Well, they don't like either of those, because those don't require you to invest heavily in rares and mythics. So why would they like that? Those are fan formats. Those are things that were made by fans, not made by Watsy, right? Because that's you don't have to spend like thousands of dollars to be good at those. So yeah, they don't like those. So, oh well. Anyways, if you guys find anything out on the internet where you think would be enjoyable for Reddit Rant, send it our way. And with that, we'll move into our draw phase.
Let's draw.
And
fucking dorks. Reddit Rant.
Yeah, I know. You're like, fuck alchemy. So in draw phase, usually we go over like what we've been playing this week, but I think it's pretty much the same for both of us. And we have so much news right now. And so with that, we're gonna get into MTG News, brought to you by your favorite big-headed bubble anchor drunken Dork. Take it away.
I don't appreciate that at all. Not one bit. Yeah, we have some news. Not a lot, but besides the spoilers, we're gonna go over those later. We have some news to Arena, and it's not super exciting, but maybe for you people like me, and I think Hoshi, you believe a little bit with your decks.
Yeah, sometimes
it's pretty cool. So we got decked out decks. Express yourself with a full cosmetic outfitting of your decks by associating avatars, pets, and sleeves with them. Now you'll have a complete ensemble when you take a deck into battle. Ooh. So basically what's going on here is your decks, you can individually sleeve, you can individually pet, and you can individually avatar. I'm going to use my ninja deck, so I'm going to use a ninja avatar. I'm going to use a fucking... I don't know what kind of animal pet there is that's a ninja, but I'm going to use that one.
The little cyber raccoon guy, I think. Yeah.
There you go, cyber raccoon. And then I'm going to use my ninja sleeves, right?
Yeah.
Something like that, which I actually think is pretty cool, personally.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely not the first quality of life improvement that I would have picked.
No.
By far, but but I still like it. It's not something that I thought of, but yeah, I would enjoy doing this to some of my decks. I like being thematic, like
me too.
Like most whales do, I feel like in this game. Yeah, so yeah, I think it is a good one. You got to give Watsy credit when it's somewhat due. In this case, anything else that looks interesting?
Kamigawa Neon Dynasty Mythic Booster Packs are now in the store. You can get one for 1,300 gold, or you can get 10 for 2,600. I bought one the other day.
Yeah.
I honestly, I remember we talked about it. I didn't notice a difference when I got the pack. I was like, okay, I'm not doing that again. I just saved my gold now. I always save my gold. I almost never buy packs with my gold. I buy cosmetics.
Okay. So did you get a mythic in it though? Like a guaranteed mythic?
I got a mythic card.
Yeah. Okay. Not a wild card. Yeah. Okay.
Not a wild card, yeah. And then we also have the 20-pack Alchemy Kamigawa bundle available now. And then the biggest news, I think, as part of the April 7th game update, we are planning to rebalance several cards in Alchemy. Since this is very close to a qualifier weekend, we want to give players as much notice as possible. Check out the latest rebalancing changes coming on Thursday, April 7th. And so there's an example here. We're not going to go over all the cards, but I think one that's kind of important because you do see it in a historic.
Yeah.
Is going to be Blood Artists. So it just changed from target player to target opponent. And apparently this change here is just to make it a little easier for idiots like me, who just click on themselves like for no reason.
Yeah.
I do shit like that. I said do. I do shit like that often, though, honestly.
Good job.
Especially when I'm playing on the phone and like, because generally when I'm playing on the phone, I'm like doing that and like doing two other things. I misplay so often these days because I almost exclusively play on the phone.
I have been too, yeah. Same.
Quality of life improvements like this, I think, are good, like it does change the card a little bit, but it doesn't matter because as much as I want multiplayer on Arena, it's, Hoshi, I was trying to point out, I was like, oh, they said target opponent. So, there might be multiple opponents, and Hoshi's like, no, this is in pre-production.
Yeah.
Which is like, no. This will never, ever happen. You're right. It probably will never happen. This is just...
I like that your optimism, though. You're like, they're gonna do it. I'm much more skeptical, I think, than you are when it comes to this.
No, I know they aren't. I mean, or like I don't doubt them trying, but like I could totally see, just like anything else they do, they're like, here it is, and maybe they don't meet the quota, so they're like, all right, well, let's just fucking dump that in the trash, and then you can't even like challenge each other for a game like Brawl, they fucking threw that in the garbage real quick.
Yeah. Did you look at these all these updates that they're doing though? It's a lot. It's a lot of stuff that they're we're not going over all of it, but they're doing a significant amount of updates to armor, to elves. I have not read all of these. Lots.
Is there any particular one you want to talk about?
Man, no. I mean, I did see something. I've just been looking at. So Blood Artist was the one that you talked about. I really like that for the quality of life improvement thing that they were doing there. Anything that they could do to update the, just the slowness of the game, make the game faster. I'm always about making the game faster so that you can get more games in, so that it's less boring. You're sitting there like twiddling your thumbs. I think the expedition supplier was pretty interesting because now it's humans, not just warriors, so he can actually fit in a lot more decks now. Even though he's not super awesome. So it looks like mainly they just went for like equipment, and they did a bunch of updates to elves in there as well. So nothing too crazy that I'm seeing, but
they made Tyvar a little bit better. They made Herald Unites the Elves. I love these cards.
Oh yeah, by the way. Those are great.
Or Herald, I guess. I don't know how you say it.
Herald. Yeah.
They made that a little bit better. These elves actually look pretty good.
Yeah.
Elderfang, I was already using that card, and they made it a little bit cheaper, so that's even better.
Which one, the Ritualist or?
So Elderfang Ritual. Ritualist.
Okay. When it dies, you may exile it. If you do, return another target elf or Tyvar card from your graveyard to your hand. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. I was using the Skemfar Avenger. Let's see, what did they do to it now? Removes non-token. Oh, okay. So just anything that dies now. You lose a life and draw. Oh man, that could be worse or better. I don't know. Pretty cool though.
That is good. And then Herald itself, they improved, which I fucking love this card. When Herald, King of Skemfar,
he is great.
Look at it. Now looks at 7 cards from 5.
Oh,
whoa,
that's good.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Much less chance of whiffing. Right. Yeah, I really like Herald, King of 6-pack abs. Look at them abs, dude. Jesus, dude.
Yeah, I know, man.
Dude's been hitting the gym way more than me. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. You are a fat bitch.
God damn it. It's true. I used to have a six-pack back in my day. All right. Anyways, any other stuff that you started?
No, I mean these changes. I didn't bother looking at them because I've been so busy with work and stuff recently. I haven't been playing as much. I still play at work. You know, I play on my phone and shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't been paying as much attention. But these are actually pretty good improvements that might affect our format for the better.
It's a lot of buffs. And buffs I am totally okay with, especially like if those affect historic. Like I don't mind buffs. I don't like nerfs. I don't like the nerfs that affect historic, you know. Sure, hey, buff more cards in historic, make them, you know, stronger, more viable to play, as long as they do it, you know, tactfully, because historic is a you know, a pretty strong
what's
format
funny
already.
though is that they're like, you know what, we should buff up. What we really need is, you know, that we don't have strong elves. We really need strong. That doesn't exist yet. Let's make the elves a little bit stronger. But, you know, in all reality, the Golgari elves isn't great.
Yeah.
And so maybe this will push because I really like the idea of Golgari elves. It becomes more of a mid-range version of elves, and I like that a lot. So hopefully it's something viable now.
Yeah, I like it too. It's not just like bust nut elves all over the battlefield and then either win or lose on like a one board wipe. You know, that's what elves normally feels like. So yeah, I do like Golgari elves too. It feels like a more like well-rounded deck, and not just like a mindless like vomit your cards onto the field type deck. Like most elf decks kind of play, which I enjoy that too, but
absolutely.
Sometimes I want to, exactly. Sometimes I want a little bit more, you know, variation. Like I can't play elves a lot. I play like a couple games of it, and then I get bored of that deck real quick.
Same.
I gotta play something else.
This is a tangent right now.
Sure.
What have you been playing recently?
Same things that I've been playing before. The Grease Fang deck, the Reanimator, which I get sick of that real quick too, but I really do enjoy playing a couple of rounds of that. Mainly the Fires of Invention still, my Jeskai Fires, and I've been playing the Auras, the green white Auras.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. Man, why is that escaping me? What that's called right now? Selesnya. Yeah, Jesus Christ. Yeah, Selesnya Auras. And yeah. What about you? Anything new?
Honestly, the only deck I've been playing for the past 2 weeks is enchantments, like my old school enchantments deck, and it is strong. I love that deck. It's a beautiful deck.
It's fun.
With these new cards that came in from Neon Dynasty, I added that 1 mana green enchantment creature.
Oh,
you can put an extra land in, and that card works well in that deck.
Oh, does it?
Like, yeah, it draws you cards. It ramps you. It's good. I like it.
Cool. Well, that's good to hear. I did make the shrine deck, and that one, like, I added that one like shrine guy in there. It was cool. It gave it a little bit of a boost, but it's still like, you know, not really.
It was fun.
Really not still playable on the ladder. You know.
Yeah, I played against it a couple times.
Yeah.
You know, I played against shrines a few times actually, and like. There's a couple different versions I played against. One is more of like my enchantment deck turned into a shrines deck. And then there's another one that's just shrines. And the one that's an enchantment deck with shrines, it's actually pretty strong.
That's what mine is kind of like, it's more of like a control type deck actually than than the other like full-blown shrine one. It's fun. I like it. It's just a hard fought win every time with that deck. You feel kind of exhausted after playing it. You're like, oh, okay, I barely survived that one. You know, it's probably not going to happen again. But all right, cool. Well, you ready to move on to main phase 1?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Main phase 1.
All right, and in main phase 1, we're going to be talking about the new mechanics that are coming out in this new Capenna series. So let's take a look at what we got. So we found an article here that from Wizards that goes over like just all the new mechanics. There's a bunch of returning mechanics too. I don't think we're gonna talk about the ones that are like already in Arena that are returning for the most part. But let's look at these new mechanics. So the first one is connive. And so I think this is mainly like a lot of these mechanics are tied to the different like mobs or
shards.
Yeah, shards or mobs or what, I don't know what they're calling them in this one. And this one is Obscura. Connive looks like it's connected to that. And so connive is draw a card, then discard a card. If you discarded a non-land card, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So this is a pretty interesting mechanic, I think. And I think you can connive for more as well. So there's like connive, 2 and then connive 3 or whatever. So you would draw a 3. So you'd have multiple attempts to put like counters on your guy, and you're drawing, you're moving through your deck a lot. So I think this is a cool mechanic, something that, is going to get you to, shuffle cards back and out. This seems good for Reanimator and buffs. Whatever creature that you're playing with. It seems decently strong to me. What are your thoughts on Connive Drunken?
I like it. I wish that it was like a little bit more than this. Like, I wish it was draw a card, then discard a card.
Mm-hmm.
And if you discarded a non-land card, then X. Then something happens. Not necessarily put a +1/+1 counter.
Just +1/+1 counter, which is what it seems like is what is essentially tied to this one. So yeah, it's not as open-ended as that.
But that's what it even says. Like, if you look at the notes, it says if a creature you control is instructed to connive, here's what you do, and then it goes through all of everything you just said. So it specifically says put a +1/+1 counter on a creature. So if I was gonna rate this out of a 5, I'd give this like a 2 or a 3.
Okay. So
yeah, what about you?
Interesting. I like it. I think once again, like many of the mechanics, it depends on what they add this to. The potential isn't crazy with this, but if they add this to decks that are creatures that seem like they could be strong in Reanimator, then I think this would be this could be a really good mechanic, because it could buff up a creature, making it a threat on the battlefield while you're also dumping things into the graveyard, like potentially reanimating something. And diversifying your threats like that is always good when you're going against somebody. It makes targeting like whatever you're doing a little bit harder. So I don't know, I like it. It's probably same with you, 2 or 3. I don't think it's the strongest mechanic, obviously, but I like it.
Yeah.
All right, want to take the next one?
Sure. Yeah. So the next one's going to be Casualty, and this is attached to Maestros, which is blue, black, and red. And it says, so I'm going to read a card, a little chat. And it says, Casualty 1, as you cast this spell, you may sacrifice a creature with power 1 or greater. When you do, copy this spell. So basically what Casualty does is, there's a whole text. As an additional cost to cast this spell with Casualty, you may sacrifice an underling. A creature with power N or greater, where N is the number that appears after the keyword. If you choose to do so, a triggered ability triggers that copies this spell. If the original spell required any targets, you'll get to choose new targets for the copy. The copy is created directly on the stack, so it's not cast, meaning its casualty abilities won't do anything, and you can't copy it again. The copy is still a spell on the stack, though, so it can be responded to and countered as normal, and it will actually resolve before the original spell. So that's a lot of text there.
Yeah.
So basically, the way Casualty works is you sacrifice something as you can sacrifice something, and when you do, the ability it basically casts like a spell.
Yeah.
And you make a copy of something. I don't know. This is a hard one to read, I think.
Yeah, it's a little confusing. They went into a lot of the minutia with the way that counters work against it and stuff, which was interesting.
So this card, a little chat, it has Casualty 1, and it says, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the other on the bottom of your library. So you can do this an additional time. So it's hard to read because blue, black, red, it is like kind of it has a sacrifice component to
Yeah.
it, but at the same time, like I feel like something like this is really good with tokens, right? So I don't know how it's going to work, and it really depends on the cards it's printed on. This has the potential to be a really powerful ability, but we just have to see what they attach it to. What do you think?
I'm right there with you, because this is like basically Grixis colors, and when I think about Grixis, I usually think about control. So I'm not thinking about like having spare creatures to sacrifice to stuff like this. Where this does seem very good in is zombies, which fall into black and blue. I think this would be pretty strong in like some type of maybe zombie control type strategy where you can double things up, grab extra cards. So maybe fit in there. I do like this ability. It's interesting, and it's very like black thematic, right, where you have to kill something to get like a extra
black
ability.
And blue, and copying stuff with blue. Red,
not really.
I don't see it.
No,
I guess no, I don't see it.
Yeah. But
so what would you rate it then, like if you're gonna give it 1 through 5?
Man, I think this one is around a 3, and that's only because of the colors that it's in, right? Like if I feel like this was in just more strictly black, or like just kept to black, then it would probably be better. The blue
green,
is a little
white, black, like that would be perfect. I think.
Exactly. If you had tokens like you were saying, this would be a lot stronger. So I like it.
I do too. I agree with you completely. I'd say like a 3 or a 4.
Cool. All right, next we got Blitz, and Blitz is attached to the Riveteers symbol. So this is like the Jund colors, right, where it's black, red, and green. And Blitz is a interesting one. So let's see, the mechanic reads, so this is Blitz 2 on this Jaxis, the Troublemaker card, which looks pretty intense. So it is, if you cast this spell for its Blitz cost, it gains haste, and whenever this creature dies, draw a card. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So Blitz sounds like a much better version of oh man, I'm trying. What's that? Is it Rush or that one?
Rush.
So it's a better version of the Rush mechanic, because you draw a card when the creature dies, and then you sacrifice it at the end. So it's just a strictly better Rush, is what it sounds like.
Rush, you return to your hand.
Yeah, that's true. It did return to your hand. Yeah. So, and this one doesn't. It dies at the end. So,
I think this is the most powerful one. Like, because a lot of decks work out of the graveyard, right? Like, that is a resource, especially in our format, right? There's a reason there's so much graveyard hate in our format. It's because it is a resource in our format. So the ability to just fucking cast up this card especially. So, discard a card, create a token that's a copy of another target creature you control. It gains haste, and when this creature dies, draw a card, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end steps.
Yeah.
What is even happening?
Yeah,
like
insane.
There's so much text on this. Like, I don't think this is the most powerful card, but I do think this card has a lot of potential here, because you can cast it for 2, you tap it, pay another red, so it's basically 3 mana. You copy another creature you control. So say you're doing some type of black, red, green reanimator deck, right? And you make a copy of fucking, what's that worm that gives -2, -2 to everything?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of its name though, but then you would have.
Then you're doing like -4 maybe on a turn, right? Like, It's just like the upside here, like the fact that it goes to your graveyard rather than your hand. I actually think there's a lot of upside, because it has haste. It has this added ability of drawing a card, so it's not a complete loss. Like, this is incredible. This seems really, really strong to me.
And for 3, if you have 3, you can pay the Blitz cost. This can come in, and it can use its ability too. So then you're drawing 2 cards, because not only are you drawing the card from when this dies, you're also drawing a card from its ability of copying something else, and then when that thing dies too, and you get another token, a disposable token that you could throw away too. This card is really good. It's scary good.
It's great.
Yeah, this is a good ability, I think too. So, what do you think on the 1 through 5 scale for abilities for this one?
I give it a 4 to 5. I give it it's really high.
Yeah, I agree. Haste is just such a powerful mechanic in closing out games, and especially one where you can draw a card off of it as well. This is definitely a 4. If not,
and this color combination, it just works perfectly. It's incredibly powerful color combination.
Oh yeah, Jund is amazing. So I like it. I look forward to dying to this card. All right. So next we got Alliance, and take it away.
I was pouring a beer, being candid here. So Alliance. Naya, I fucking love this color combination. Oh, yeah. This is one of my favorite color combinations. So red, green, white, and this is the Cabaretti family. And the way Alliance works is whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, actually, let me read the real instructions here. Nothing complicated here. You want more creatures and plenty of them. If you control multiple creatures, no, that's not it. I'm gonna keep reading here. Alliance ability. No, I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah.
All right, so
this one's not complicated.
Yeah. So basically, Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you're going to get a bonus. Yeah. You know, and so this is actually really strong. If something, there's a few abilities we haven't talked about yet. Did we talk about Shield?
No, not Shield, not yet. That's next. Okay. Yeah.
So there's a couple of new abilities coming in, along with Ward and stuff like that. That this has the potential to be really powerful. And when we talk about some of the creatures that have Alliance on them, or at least one in particular, you'll see, that this has strong capabilities, and that they, purposely put a cap on it. What do you think of this?
I think it's pretty generic. I feel like it's just like a limited it's a limited ETB type thing to, creatures that you control entering the battlefield, basically, right? So I feel like adding a word to this is just like, it's not so much a new mechanic as like kind of just like taking some keywords and then like just making them a mechanic. I feel like limiting ETBs to you. So
Dude, you summed it up perfectly. It's like they're like, all right, interns, make up a new mechanic, and they're like, oh, I got a great one that's never been used. When a creature enters the battlefield, something happens.
And they're like,
holy shit, that's amazing.
And then they run it by somebody, and they're like, you fucking idiots, that happens all the time. And they're like, oh no. And then he's like, wait, I'll fix it if it's your creature. And then they're like, see, that's why you're the boss. That's why you're the boss.
You're blowing my goddamn mind right now.
That's why you make the big bucks, sir. Yeah.
That's good.
All right. So let's.
So what do you think?
Yeah.
What is it?
A 2. Yeah, I feel like there's a 2.
A 2?
Yeah.
I think
it could be a 2 to 5. This one's very open ended, I feel like, right?
Okay.
So yeah. Like you were talking about with the connive one or whatever, right? I feel like this one is open-ended, like you wish connive was, instead of the +1. Like this one could be anything, right? It has more possibilities with it. It's not as like limited. So, but it is creature focused.
Yeah,
so,
I agree. Something happened where you froze.
Oh, okay.
And your face was making the most ridiculous face ever. Man, I wish I was recording it, because that would have been great to do.
Oh man, yeah, new thumbnail.
Damn it. I agree with you completely.
Okay.
2 to 5.
Yeah,
you're 100% correct.
Way open. All right, cool. Well, let's look at the next one. We got shield counters. And this one is probably the one that I think is the strongest so far. And it goes on the brokers because this one is a broken mechanic, I think. And so, well done, Wizards there. And the brokers is a, oh man, what is the name of this shard? This is...
Bant.
Bant, that's right. Yeah, blue, white, and green. And so shield counter is if it would be dealt damage, so you put a shield counter on a creature, and it says if this creature would be dealt damage or destroyed, remove a shield counter from it instead. Which is, pretty basic. So shield counters provide 2 benefits. First, if a permanent with a shield counter on it would be destroyed by an effect, the shield counter is removed, or if the permanent is instead of a creature being destroyed. So and then if they're dealt damage, it also removes that too. So you get 1 free block with it, or it stops a destroy spell. This is an incredibly powerful mechanic, I feel like. What do you think, Drunken?
I really like it. It really depends how they print this mechanic. I think this has a really high potential. I also love these colors. Ban is probably my second favorite shard outside of Naya. And if they print an instant, right, that's a 2 or 1 mana instant, target creature gains hexproof, indestructible, and a shield card and a shield counter, right?
Yeah.
If they do something like that, then that's really strong. Or if they do an enchantment that's an aura, I should say. Every time this creature deals damage to a player, it gets a shield counter, something like that. Then oh my god, dude, it's just gonna be broken, you know, at that point.
Proliferating these counters would be insane.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it really depends how they implement it. This card they show us, you want to read it?
Sure. This is
Disciplined.
Disciplined duelist. There we go. So it's it's the colors of Bant, basically. It's green, white, and blue, and then it has double strike, and then when he enters the battlefield, you put a shield counter on him, and he is a 2/1 with double strike. So he seems decently strong. Double strike is a very, very good mechanic, and then he has the shield counter on him. His casting cost is pretty crazy for what he is. But I still think
he is uncommon.
Yeah, he is uncommon. So for an uncommon, I think he has very good stats for what he is. But
the problem is, so it's when he enters the battlefield, Disciplined Duelist enters the battlefield. Oh no, with a shield.
With a shield counter, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't even respond to that.
That's true. Yeah, you can't. That's odd.
Yeah, so that is pretty strong. I agree completely. There's really high potential. What do you think?
Yeah, I like
1 through 5.
I think this is definitely a 4 to 5. Depending on the cards, being able to multiply these counters on there. This is a great tool against control decks, right? One of the worst things if you're a creature deck is just getting board wiped, and this stops not only targeted removal, but it also stops board wipes from working against your creature with these shield tokens on them. So man, this is your worst possible nightmare matchup if you're playing control. I feel like is seeing this creature come down, just being like, shit. How am I going to deal with this?
I think the real trouble here, because we have cards like all creatures gain indestructible, right? We have those instants. The trouble comes with all creatures gain shield, right? Because if you get something like that, say someone is trying to single target you out, right? And then you do all creatures get shield, then all of a sudden they're trying to single target your creature, but then now they have to deal with the other ones, and it becomes significantly harder. There's a point where that instance is better than all creatures are indestructible. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then it would stay on him too, because it's a counter. So yeah,
Yep.
yeah, it's really good. I like it. What do you think about it?
I say 3 to 5. Yeah.
3 to 5.
Is that what you said?
I said 4 to 5. Yeah.
Yeah, I say 3 to 5. It really just depends. Like,
On what
you know,
they put it on,
lesson learned could have been the most incredible mechanic ever. Like, or not incredible,
Yeah.
the most powerful mechanic ever. But it all depended on what lesson and what learn was, right?
It still turned out
same thing here.
It still turned out to be very strong for standard. You know, it's played in almost like any standard. Yeah, but yeah, they could have easily it could have been like the the one from
Historic.
No, not historic. What was the 4-leaf clover deck that was going around for a while? Yeah, from Eldraine. The adventure. It could have been like the adventure mechanic, you know, where it was just like insane for a while. It just depends. They took away Clover, and then it was like, okay, it's not, it's not nearly as good anymore. Yeah, so let's talk about. I think this is the last one that we got, which is not a new mechanic. This is a returning mechanic, but one that is new to MTG Arena.
Yeah. You want me to take it away?
Yeah.
All right. So the other mechanic's going to be Hideaway. And if y'all don't know that, it's when this permanent enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library, exile one of them face down, then put the rest on the bottom in a random order. And then there's some type of way where you reveal that card, you know? So, for example, we have wiretapping, and it says Hideaway 5. So you look at the top 5 cards. It says, whenever you draw your first card during each of your draw steps, draw a card. Then, if you have 9 or more cards in hand, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. This card, like, I don't think is good. Like, that's strong. It is a really strong ability, but like to get there might be kind of hard. But Hideaway has a potential of being good. Like, we saw Hideaway lands before. I don't know what other Hideaway stuff we've had. I thought they were only on lands.
Man, I could swear they were on other stuff too. But yeah, the only ones that I really remember are lands. They were the strongest ones for it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, like a red land would be like when you have 5 or more creatures or power 5 or greater on the battlefield. Like, you may play the exile card without paying its mana cost.
Yeah, or pay 1 to cast it or something like that.
Yeah, or 1 or something, Or blue is like, you have 10 cards in hand. Or, you know, very, like, color-focused mechanics, right? Like, and it looks like they're keeping with that with this new Hideaway, or with Hideaway coming back. It just really depends on what they do with it. What do you think?
Yeah, Hideaway is a cool mechanic, so I'm glad to see it return. And it can be super powerful depending on the cards that they put it in, right? Getting the free casted spells. This card is not good, like you said. I think it's like way too late of a, like, you know, of a control maybe strategy this might fit into, but this is a greedy card. I don't like this one, but like those lands, if they gave us a Hideaway lands, that would be awesome. I think those would go great into historic, because they're good value and they're fun. Having fun lands is always nice. So hopefully the lands come back. That'd be cool. We'll see.
So 1 to 5, what do you give Hideaway?
Man,
in our format?
Well, once again, I feel like this is like
tough, right?
Yeah, it's tough to say because once again, depends on what they printed on. But like, 3 to 4, I would say. Yeah. You?
I give it a 1 to 5. Because I have no idea, right? Like, we have no idea. This card, it doesn't say anything. This card's bad, and we have no idea what.
This one's 1. Yeah, this is 1 for sure.
This is 1. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it could be 5. Good point. All right, I think that's it for the mechanics. I like these ones. I feel like there are certain sets where the mechanics are like total just duds, or they're just very uninspired. And this is a nice little mix of new mechanics. What's your favorite one out of these?
I mean, fuck, dude. It's sorry, I'm opening something. It's obviously gotta be the most inspired mechanic, which is Alliance.
Yeah.
Alliance. Fuck, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That's incredible. Enter the battlefield.
Yes.
Something happens, dude.
Yeah, never been done.
I'm kidding. Obviously, I think, like, I don't know. It's really tough for me. I really do like the Blitz mechanic a lot. Like, I think there's really high potential. And then also the shield. Both of them, I think, are really, really powerful.
Yeah. I like shield. I like shield a lot. I think it's going to be crazy powerful if they put it on good stuff. So
that's flyers too, man. That's your deck, flyers.
I know, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, that was fun. Let's move into combat then.
Dorkish Combat!
And combat is our horseshit card game, hosted by Drunk and Dork. Take it away.
So this is the horseshit card game. This is a game where I just make it up every week, and honestly, I'm running out of ideas. So this week is a little different than other weeks, but very much the same at the same time.
Okay, very cryptic.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is I am going to name 5 cards. I'm not going to name their full description. But what you have to do here is figure out which one of these cards does not have flying.
Okay, interesting. Not have
all
flying.
These cards are all these cards are from Historic, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I like that. This is a nice little twist. All right.
Okay,
I'm ready. I like it.
All right. So the first one's going to be Pilfering Imp. It's 1 black mana for a creature imp, and it says 1 on a black. Tap, sacrifice Pilfering Imp, target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Activate this ability anytime you could cast a sorcery. And it's a 1/1.
Okay.
The next one is Blood Tithe Collector. It is 4 and a black for a creature Vampire Noble. It says when Blood Tithe Collector enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent discards a card, and it is a 3/4.
Okay.
Then we have Sadistic Sky Marcher. It is 2 and a black for creature Vampire Soldier. And it says, as an additional cost to cast Sadistic Sky Marcher, reveal a vampire card from your hand or pay 1 colorless mana. It is a 2/2. Then we have Enemy of Enlightenment. It is 5 and a black for an enchantment creature demon. It says Enemy of Enlightenment gets -1/-1 for each card in your opponent's hands. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card and it is a 5/5. And then finally, we have Harvester of Souls. It is 4 black for a creature demon. It says whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card, and it is a 5/5.
Oof, man. This is a toughie. I think the first 4 that you mentioned, I do know those cards, but I know those are in Historic, but I don't know if they have flying. I'm pretty sure the Imp has flying. I'm not sure about the Blood Tithe Collector. I think that I would have not thought that had flying, so I don't think that one does. And then the next one, the Vampire, where you have to show one, that one definitely has flying. I know that one. The Demon afterwards, that one, the one that makes you discard, I don't know about that one. I know that card, but I can't remember if he has flying or not. I think he does. And then the last one, I am also not sure about the flying on that one. I know it's a demon. Demons do have flying a lot of times, but so do vampires, so this is tough. I'm in between the Blood Tithe Collector and the last one. Oh man, I'm gonna go with the last one. I'm gonna go with the demon. I think it's the demon. Yeah.
Harvester of Souls?
Yeah, final answer.
Final answer. Harvester of Souls. Well, sir,
Uh-huh.
you are correct this week.
Oh!
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
Woo!
Harvester of Souls out of Jumpstart, the original. Yeah, it has Death Touch, not flying.
Okay.
Which is actually, most demons have flying, so it's very rare,
That's true.
I try to pick one that, sounded like maybe it would have flying.
That was the only one that I didn't know too. Like I couldn't picture that one in my head, like what it was. I was trying to. The other ones, like I could kind of remember what their like art looked like, but that one I didn't know. That's really why I picked that one. Man, I did not know that Blood Tithe Collector had flying. So that was pretty much a coin toss up there. So yay, I made it, and you lost. So that's, it's been a while. I feel like since I feel like I've lost a couple. So this is nice. My return, my redemption song.
Nice. Good job.
Thank you. Well, hopefully you guys also got it out there. Let us know. And with that, let's move into main phase 2.
Main phase 2.
Bum, bum, bum. And main phase 2 is where we're gonna go over just like some new spoilers that are coming to us from this new Capenna. We're just gonna go over some ones that really caught our eye, and we're gonna speed through these because we're going a little long. So this is kind of an open format.
That's fine.
Yeah, this is kind of an open format one for this. So let's talk about these. So the first one that popped up on here that I think is interesting is the new Vivian on the Hunt, which is a 6-drop. So it's 4 and 2 blue for a legendary Planeswalker Vivian.
2 green.
Oh, sorry, 2 green. Yeah, I don't know how to read or look at pictures or talk or look at pictures or be human. So it's 4 and 2 green for a Vivian Planeswalker. She comes in with 4 loyalty, which is not great for a 6 mana cost, but she has a +2 that allows you to sacrifice a creature, which is very odd for a green, centric card like this. If you do, search your library for a creature card with mana value equal to +1 of the sacrifice creature's mana cost value and put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle, which is a pretty strong +2. I think that's like a birthing pod, right, mechanic on her. 6 is a lot for that, but I still think that's pretty good. And then +1, mill 5 cards, then put any number of creatures milled this way into your hand, which is really good, I think, to restock your hand. A potential of drawing 5 cards there. And then we have a -1 and create a 4/4 green Rhino Warrior creature token. So, Drunken, what do you think about Vivian?
I actually like this card a lot. So I actually don't think it's weird that you're milling cards and then putting creatures in your hand. I don't think it's weird that you're sacrificing creatures, because green does this too. It's very much like this odd, like it's not bringing instants and sorceries, it's bringing permanents back to your hand, and green has this kind of like
from the graveyard.
Return to the earth, and then you get something out of it, like gardening or anything like that,
okay, that's true.
And I think at 4 loyalty for 6 mana, this seems really powerful because it has a +2, a +1, and a -1. It has a way to protect itself. So you play 6, it comes in at 4, you -1, they can't respond to that. You get a 4/4. Sure, they can shock it, or not shock it. They can
kill it.
Lightning bolt it, whatever. Hit it with something, thunderbolt, and get rid of it. But still, you have a 4/4, right? I think the +2 is really strong, and it has really high potential because it allows you to toolbox. And I think the +1 is also really strong because if you already have a board state, like I can see this in a mono green deck or a green red deck or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like a very like rampy deck, green black. That's going to give you like big beefy dudes. So I like it. I would give this like I like it a lot. I still give it a 3 though.
Okay. Yeah, I like it a lot too. I think it's very powerful. The mechanics that it has. I just don't like the 6 mana cost on it. I think that will be good in the alchemy and all that stuff, but I don't know if it has a place in Historic with that high of a mana cost. So that's my only real issue with this card. Other than that, I think it's great. I think it's a good card. All right, why don't you take the next one?
So, Nimble Larcenist. Do you even want to read this one? Because I don't think it's good.
No. Just go to the next card that you really want to talk about out of these.
Getaway Car. I like this. So I'm going to read it. It's 3 colorless mana for an artifact vehicle. Has haste. And it says, whenever Getaway Car attacks or blocks, return up to 1 target creature that crewed it this turn to its owner's hand. It has crew 1, and it is a 4/3. So you can play it on turn 3 or turn 2, whatever, if you ramp or whatever. You can crew it on turn 2 or turn 3, hit for 4, return a creature to your hand, maybe a beneficial creature, like something that draws you a card. There's a lot of 1 mana, cast a spell, draw a card, or 2 mana, cast a spell, draw a card. Yeah. I like this. Actually, I think it's pretty strong. What do you think?
I think it's interesting in a deck where you want to return creatures to your hand. I think this is great for some type of ETB focused deck. Yeah. Or, a deck where it's got the shield tokens or something and they get that back when they come back in, Yeah, it could be very interesting to do stuff like that, bounce it around. But vehicles are always I'm always apprehensive playing vehicles. I don't know why. I like them. I just feel like they're almost there. They're almost really good.
They do nothing on their own, and they always need something else.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Drawing a handful of vehicles with nothing to crew it is awful. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Oh man. All right. So let's see. What do we got next? There's Jaxus, the Troublemaker. We already talked about that one. Man, that card is terrifying. The Devilish Valet, we kind of talked about that one. These are all from the mechanics that we talked about. Let's see. I didn't read that one, so I'm just going to pass over it. Here is one that I definitely want to talk about that I think is nuts, and it is the Gala Greeters. Okay, so this is one of the ones that's getting the full-blown art treatment. I feel like they're doing this with every set now. They did it with the the Kamigawa with the demon last time, where he got all the different art printings for him. I think this is the one with this set where they're basically every different culture is getting a different art. So there's a Hispanic, there's a Japanese art, there's even a Russian one right now, controversial, but there's a new art for everybody. Anyways, this card is much better than the Demon, I think, in the last set. It is a 2-drop for Gala Greeters. It's a 1 and a green for an Elf Druid, non-legendary at rare, and it is a 1/1 with Alliance. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, choose one that has not been chosen this turn. So you're limited on the amount of effects that you can get out of this. But these effects are pretty good. One is put a 1/1 counter on Gala Greeters. The next one is create a tapped treasure token. And the last one is you gain 2 life. So... Yep. I feel like all these are pretty good. I feel like the weakest one is putting the counter on it, honestly. Being able to get treasure tokens, being able to gain life. What do you think about this one, Drunken?
So I have a couple things. First, the art style here, right? We got all these cool, intricate art styles.
Yeah.
The American one is just some blue fucking people and it's just some nerdy ass shit, and everything else is very thematic to the culture, right? And they're you Americans, you're dumb as shit. Here you go. You get blue people with some nerdy shit on it. Second, I do want to say I don't know how to inspect this card. Me and Hoshi were talking about it before. It does seem powerful, but at the same time, the fact that it's limited, right? So it can't go out of control. But I do like that it's not whenever you cast a creature, it's whenever a creature you control enters the battlefield. So, things are triggered, they make tokens, and it can make multiple tokens. So this thing could potentially go off 3 times every time, where you're making treasure tokens. You're getting +1/+1 counter. You're gaining 2 life. all those are significant. Like the fact that you have something to choose from. Like if you're playing against mono red and they're choosing to go to face rather than destroy your creatures.
Yeah.
This has the potential to bring you back to where you need to be. Right?
They have to target this. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do like it. It's very unclear to me. The fact that it's your own creatures, it kind of strangles you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's not Soul Sisters. Yeah.
it's not Soul Sisters. I give it like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think so as well. The fact that you can only choose one mode once per turn, if you were able to choose them multiple times a turn, like you can choose any of them up to like 3, triggered abilities from it, I think that would be way stronger, because then you could gain 6 life potentially or get 3 treasure tokens, and then that would be nuts, So maybe that's why they didn't do that, because that would be way too strong. So I think they eliminate it to 1 activation of these per turn was probably a good call. To stop this.
No, it's probably better.
Yeah, it's probably better they did that.
Because then this thing can go infinite. Potentially. Right?
Oh, absolutely. This thing would have been, insane. I mean, it made a tap treasure token. That was also probably a good call on their behalf as well. So I really like this card. Yeah.
if it was infinite, like in like something like Legacy or Vintage, there's way to untap artifacts, right?
Of course.
Like, this thing could potentially make infinite treasure tokens or infinite life or something like that. So it's better they did that.
Yeah.
But if you're done with that, there's actually a card you skipped.
Okay, yeah.
I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we can go back.
Well, there's 2 cards. Okay. So there's Strangle, which is it's common. It's 1 red mana for a sorcery. Strangle deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. I just think that card's good. It goes good in mono red control.
Yeah, that's true.
And then light 'em up, 1 in a red for a casualty, a new mechanic. Light 'em up deals 2 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and then
and you could sacrifice something to do it again, basically. Yeah, to double the spell. So that's pretty interesting. And then
those are the 2. Okay. So why don't you go to the next one then?
Okay. Let's pass this one, and then we have all of the new commander cards basically that are actually in this set. So I'll skip those for right now. I want to talk about the Praetor. Urabras is next in here. He is super cool. I really like this Praetor compared to the other ones that we've gotten so far. So Urabras is a 5-drop. He's 3 and 2 red for a legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor at Mythic. He's a 4/4 with haste, just like he's always been, I think. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library, and you may play it this turn. That's a very normal red thing that we've been seeing a lot recently. That's like the red version of card advantage, right? Where you have to play it this turn. Where this card gets really spicy is the second ability that he has. And so the new Praetors have usually been doing something where like, hey, they get something good and they fuck over your opponent in some kind of way. And that's where this second ability is really interesting. Like one of the other ones was like, right, your opponents can't get counters or whatever the last blue one, he countered the first spell that they played or something. This time it's at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep. The next time they would draw a card this turn, instead, they exile the top card of their library. They may play it this turn. So that's hilarious that it basically puts them on top deck mode, right? They have to either play that card or it goes away. And I really like that. I think it's oh man, there's so many times where you draw a card and you don't want to play it like exactly on that turn. So this can really, I feel, mess with people's strategies. So what do you think about this card?
I had to mute myself for a second because my dogs are being crazy like always. It's hard to read. So Urbrask, I really like the old one. I think the old one was like your opponent's creatures or non-land permanents come in tapped or something like that. And they can only cast spells at sorcery speed. So it reads like very similar to something like that.
Yeah.
It's really hard to judge this because it dies to removal, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's only a 4/4. If it was like a 3/6, I think it might actually be better.
Sure.
I don't know. I am curious. It's like one of those cards that's good to cast like at instant speed, like at flash speed or something like that, right? Like at the end of your end step. I'd give this thing like a 3, a solid 3.
Okay. Yeah, you know what, the card itself, as far as its actual power level goes, isn't really what I like about it. It's that second ability.
Yeah.
That's something I've never seen them do before, where it puts basically your opponent on top deck where they have to do that. And I just really like the creative card aspect of this card. Not so much the power level. I agree with you. I think it's around a 3 for its power level. Also, he looks like the Predator. I don't know if you noticed that. Looking at him,
he's always looked like Alien. He looks like an alien in one of the images.
He looks like Alien versus like now he's like an alien Predator. Like he's got like almost the visor looking thing going.
Yeah.
Very like Predator, huh? That's like what this artist was thinking. All right, take the next one.
So I'm gonna go back again to one of the legendary cards.
Sure.
I'm gonna go to. We talked about this in our Discord, which if you're not part of our Discord, join. It hasn't been super active recently, but it's still active. A lot of people in there. Everyone's fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining, everyone who's listening right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, it's going to be Lord Xander, the Collector. I think I might be on my own here, but I just see such high potential. I love Reanimator. So this is going to sound wild. 4 mana, blue, black, red.
Little steep.
Yeah. This is a 7 mana creature. It's a legendary creature. Vampire, demon, noble. Oh my god, there's so much text here.
All the things.
Everything. Everything in blue, black, and red, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
When Lord Xander, the Collector, enters the battlefield, target opponent discards half the cards in their hand rounded down. Mm-hmm. So if they have 7, they discard 3. All right? And then it says, whenever Lord Xander attacks, defending player mills half their library rounded down.
Nice.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's insane.
All right. And then when Lord Xander dies, target opponent sacrifices half the non-land permanents they control rounded down.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There is so much going on here. I understand that this is like a lot of mana. 7 mana to cast this creature is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's a reanimate target for sure.
We play historic. This is a historic podcast. You bring this out on potentially turn 3 if you have the priest, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you are punishing the shit out of your opponent, and it's a 6/6, by the way. So they can't just get rid of it with like a thunderbolt. They have to get rid of it with like something that kills a creature. They can't get rid of it with 1 mana fucking destroy spell. Like what are the 1 mana destroy spells?
Like fatal push, stuff like that.
Fatal push, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I like this a lot. What do you think?
Yeah, this card's great. The flavor on this card is amazing. Having your opponent like just half of everything, right? Like half their library, half their hand, half their non-land opponent. It's great. And the second I saw this, I thought exactly what you did. I was like, oh, this is a reanimate target for sure because it's huge. It's a creature, so it's easier to reanimate than like large planeswalkers and stuff, when it comes back, it's got an ETB, so it's not a cast trigger, so it's a good target for Reanimator because of that. If it dies, you're like, okay. So you get an ETB, you get a death trigger.
Bye.
Yeah, and if you attack it, it just wipes out half their library. So I really like it. I think it's some good spice to add into a Reanimator deck. Now, is it the strongest creature that you can reanimate? No, like the Sarah Angel probably, or Sarah's Emissary probably is like one of the stronger ones. But this is another option in that, in a deck like that. That's fun and adds a little bit more variety to it in like different win conditions. So I like it a lot. I think this is an awesome card. I think this is probably the best of the, of these legendary creatures that we got. So yeah, I give it a 4. I give it a 4.
4.
Yeah, I like it.
I give it a 3, okay. But that's because it's limited to the Reanimator deck.
Yeah.
And you still only want to run like probably 2
in
it, because Sarah's Emissary is by far the best, followed by Elish Norn being second best, and then this, right? You know? I do like it a lot. I love making my opponents discard cards from their hands. Like, it's one of the most satisfying feelings.
Yeah,
the problem really is it maxes out, right? Like, if you play this on turn 4 and you're playing against an aggro deck and they only have 1 card in their hand anyway, they don't discard anything. So it's really not that satisfying at that point. And you're probably just going to die anyway. So that's the only reason that turns this down a little bit. But I really, I do look forward to playing with this.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. All right. So next, Ob Nixilis. Ob Nixilis is I'm pretty excited for, because it's a 3-mana planeswalker that seems surprisingly powerful. Watsy, what are you doing? We talked about this with 3-mana planeswalkers. You're supposed to be careful with them. You don't have a good track record with them. Yeah, you don't have a good track record. See Oko, see Teferi Time Raveler. So here we go again with Ob Nixilis.
Hello, Cat Oven.
Yeah, the adversary. I know. So this Planeswalker is insane because you could basically have 2 of them. So he has the Casualty ability but he has Casualty X. So Casualty just doesn't copy like sorceries and stuff like that. It copies just any spell. So that includes Planeswalker spells as well. So the copy isn't legendary, and its starting loyalty is X. So if you sacrifice a creature that has, I think, is it power? Or I don't know if it's power or toughness for Casualty. I can't remember. But anyways, whatever it is, right? If you sacrifice something with 3, then this comes in as a 3 loyalty copy of Ob Nixilis that is non-legendary, a token copy of him that's non-legendary. And so then you can make copies of that as well, and then just proliferate the shit out of this thing and have a ton of them. Let's look at his abilities. So he has a +1. Each opponent loses 2 life, unless they discard a card. If you control a demon or devil, you gain 2 life. So that's pretty good. That's a good ping. +1. They have to possibly discard or lose 2 life. So I don't like the choice that they give, but keep in mind, you're probably going to have 2 Ob Nixilises when you're doing this. So you could do this ability twice. And then you have create a 1/1. For -2, you have create a 1/1 red devil creature token with whenever this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to any target. So a standard little 1/1 devil you get with that. And then as a -7 with target player draws 7 cards and loses 7 life. What do you think?
Fucking strong.
Yeah.
So this thing I think fits in the Jund sack deck really, really well, because it's 3 mana, it's slow to the ground. That's not a lot of mana. You can sack a Cauldron Familiar and feel comfortable doing it. Having a one loyalty planeswalker and just plussing it, like I think that's okay, honestly. Or like maybe you sacrifice what's that fucking creature? I can't pull it up now. Not the Mayhem Devil, the one that damn it.
The squirrel?
No, not the squirrel. The one that makes a goat.
Woe Strider.
Woe Strider. Yeah. You could sack Woe Strider, right?
Yeah.
Then you have you have another 3 loyalty planeswalker that's like just taxing your opponent, and then you can cast Woe Strider out of your graveyard.
Yeah.
Like the upside to this just seems so strong. I think I don't know if I said it already, but I think this is probably the most powerful card we've talked about yet.
Yeah, I think so. No, you didn't say that yet, but I agree with you. The possibility of having 2 planeswalkers on off of 3 mana is that can ping, and then that just makes 2 targets to get rid of as well. That's a pain pain in the ass to deal with potentially for like control decks, especially that don't have a way of directly like, just dealing combat damage to something. This is, I really like Ob Nixilis, or really hate him. I don't know yet. I guess that's to be determined.
I got more of a reason for you to hate him.
Why is that?
Why do you hate sack deck so much?
Oh God, no, the Dirtles, dude, the Dirtles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, imagine you're like, okay, now I have to sack something. No. Then there's the +1 or the -2. And then there's this, and then there's this. Oh my God, this card's gonna slow down the game so much.
The Dirtles, oh no.
If it works, if it actually fits in like the Jund sack deck, which I really do think it'll fit in. Like
I
two
believe
copies
you.
of it.
Yeah, I believe you. I think so. It's worth it for the variance that it adds to that deck while still working within it. I think it's very good in that deck. Oh man, that's terrifying. Why would you?
Yeah, so prepare to play 40-minute single match.
Yay, my favorite.
Thank you, Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we'll see. This is, once again, 3-mana Planeswalker. You did it again, Watsy. You got drunk and you made another 3-mana Planeswalker. It's like a love affair, right? It's like they have to break up with all of their 3-mana Planeswalkers because they have to it's like a bad relationship. They get drunk, they hook up with a 3-mana Planeswalker, then they realize they've made a mistake and they have to ban it or suspend it, right? And then everybody's like, it's good that you left the 3-mana Planeswalker. And then, Watsy starts drinking again, and then he starts looking at his phone, and then he starts texting 3-mana Planeswalkers, and the next thing you know, bam, now we got Ob Nixilis. So, I don't know.
That's probably the single best analogy you've ever made in your life.
Thank you. I've had bad relationships, so
yeah.
And seeing many of you guys also have bad relationships, so know a little something about those. All right, well, what do we got next, Dragon?
So the next one I'm going to talk about is Halo Fountain. So it's 2 white for an artifact at Mythic Rare. Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
So 2 and a white for a Mythic Rare. And it says, man, this card's weird. It says 1 white mana, tap, untap a tapped creature you control. Create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token.
Okay.
That seems like pretty... Like, that alone seems like high potential.
Sure.
All right? It doesn't stop there.
Of course
it says, white, tap, untap 2 tap creatures you control, draw a card.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. All right. So we're not making a token this time.
Mm-hmm.
But we're still untapping creatures, and we're drawing a card. That seems pretty fucking good. And then we have 5 white mana. This to me, like, this is like the bonkers zone where I don't think this is ever really gonna get hit. But it says 5 white mana, untap, or it has a tap symbol. Untap 15 tap creatures you control, you win the game. So I don't see that happening ever, except for like Commander or Brawl or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
But the first 2, I think Hoshi said he read someone already pointed out a potential infinite combo or win combo or something.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't read this card without thinking combo, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It was since it makes a green and white citizen creature token. I think it was it's the 2 mana human where like humans can tap for mana. Right, so and you can make a lot of humans, right, and then you can tap all of them with that card, right, so you don't have to risk any of them dying, and then it would generate the mana that you needed also easily for this. So there's definitely some potential with this. With token decks, right, you could potentially do this. At the same time, if you got 15 creatures in our format, you're probably going to win anyways, right? That's just my thought, on that, but what do you think?
So there is the squirrel deck, right?
Yeah.
There's the squirrel deck where
That's
you
true.
don't potentially win with attacking with squirrels.
Yeah.
This will seal a win for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you're playing against example, my enchantment deck, I play 9 lives Selesnya combo.
Yeah.
Right? Or 9 lives Solemnity combo,
Yeah.
And so this just wins you the game.
Alternate win condition against lockouts. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't think about that. That is a little nice backup there. Cool. Yeah, I like it. It's a very interesting card. I think it has more commander
Hard
potential.
to read.
Yeah, I think it has more commander potential than it does in our format.
I think so too. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you rate it? 3 to 5, or 1 to 5? I mean.
Man, for our format, a 2. I think. Yeah.
Same.
It's
exactly,
straight in the jank zone, which is what I like. And then the last one that I wanted to talk about was Elspeth, because I love Elspeth, and the art on this one is great with her. And so it's Elspeth Resplendent, and she is a 5-drop, 3 and 2 white for a legendary planeswalker Elspeth at Mythic. She comes in with 5 loyalty, which is a lot for 5. So 5 and 5, that's pretty good.
For white, it is a lot. Yeah,
that is. It's very high. And then she has a +1. Choose up to 1 target creature, put a 1/1 counter, and a counter from among flying, first strike, lifelink, or vigilance on it, which is pretty cool. You get to pick what type. You get to pick what kind of counter you put on there. So that's pretty nice. And then it has a -3. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card with mana value 3 or less from among them onto the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Which, man, that the fact that it gets a shield counter on top of it when it comes in is very strong, I think. The 3 mana thing that you get 7 cards deep is pretty far. And then if you're running this in a creature deck, you're definitely going to hit something with 3 mana. And then it's got that protection on it. I like it. Then she has -7, which is create 5 3/3 white angel creature tokens with flying, which is, is not blowing my skirt up, as far as a -7 ability, but it is something that could potentially win you the game as well. What do you think of Elspeth Resplendent?
All right, so I'm going to point out a couple of cards that are 3 mana or less.
Mm-hmm.
So we have Khazad Mammoth.
Okay, yeah.
We have Steel Leaf Champion.
Mm-hmm.
We have Old Growth Troll.
Yeah.
And then we also have, what's that other 3 mana one that has, we have Ronus the Indomitable.
Ronus, we have Skyclave Apparition.
Yeah, we have Skyclave Apparition. So, I mean, really what I'm saying here is that this card has a pretty, even though it's a 3 mana card, because, you cast 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
You spend 5 mana, and then you -3 it, and then you get a 3 mana card on the battlefield. It seems kind of like, okay, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
Like, am I just doing this to get a 3 mana card? Like, this isn't going to work against every deck. It's definitely not going to work against elves.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
But the thing is, like, you can get a 3 mana card that's pretty powerful. Exactly like Hoshi said, you can get Skyclave Apparition. You can exile something.
Mm-hmm.
You can plus it. You can make a creature with a fucking... Or you can put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and then give it vigilance or lifelink or something that's going to save your life.
And
I think this,
it's a counter that stays on that creature too. It's not just for that turn.
Basically, I think this one's really hard to judge.
Yeah.
I really do like this image though, where she's drinking like a fucking glowing like martini.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very cool. Like, with the old timey theme with it too. She looks very elegant. Yeah,
like this flapper theme.
Yeah,
and shit.
Exactly. Like a Gatsby girl.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. I'm gonna give it a 3 just because I have no idea what this card's gonna do.
Yeah, I'm there with you. Where I feel like this card is strong and it has good, it has good abilities on it. I really like that it comes out with a shield counter on it. Then you still have the Elspeth, but I like that there's versatility in it, right? You can buff something, you can get a creature out, and then with the -7, if you get there, you can get a bunch of angels and maybe close out the game. But at the same time, yeah, like you're saying, this doesn't do much against elves. But, you know, there's always going to be something that certain cards are weak against. So I like it. I think I'm going to keep it at a 3, like you said as well. Because, yeah, it's hard to judge this one. I think it could be pretty good in like a Selesnya Creatures deck, or like a white weenie type deck is like a high end, you know, for something like that. Just like a white aggro deck could be fun in. So yeah, I don't know if it's better than the new Wanderer that we got, if you would want to take that out to put this in there. I really like that new Wanderer card. So it's tough to say, but I like seeing Elspeth back again. She's a fun character. So.
I mean, the original Elspeth, I fucking loved it. It was a bomb in Standard. It was a bomb.
This is not as good as that one. Yeah, not nearly as good.
No.
But still cool. Yeah.
So real quick, before we get out of all this,
I
want to talk real quick.
Sure.
We got 5 new lands. Did we mention this last podcast?
I think we talked
cycling lands.
Yeah, I think we talked about it. They're just the other. Yeah, they're the other. What were they? Triomes.
Cycling.
Yeah.
Triomes.
Yeah, the Triomes. The other side of the Triomes.
And then we're getting 5 charms, which pretty much they look bad.
They're not good. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's all I want to say.
Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. There's plenty of other stuff, but yeah, we've been running long, and I think we hit kind of the main ones that we wanted to talk about. You know, if you guys saw anything that you wanted to mention that we maybe skipped over or missed some huge insights or something, hit us up and let us know what we missed. And with that, I think we're just going to go into our end step. All right, and so end step, I haven't heard that one in a while. So with end step, we are going to go into something that we keep forgetting to do, which is our comments, questions, and concerns, which is a channel that we have on our Discord, where if you wanted to, you know, say anything to us, or, you know, you had some comment, or you wanted to yell at us or something, you know, it's something that we don't check that channel so that we can read it on here live and see. So Drunken, we haven't checked it for a while, so do we have stuff in there?
Yeah, we absolutely do.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off with let's see, Tim Raines in real life. I played ranked on Android and iOS. And the time I don't know. Why is Hoshi calls you out such a coward? Does it imply a poor upbringing? So Hoshi, why the fuck don't you play ranked
on my phone?
Coming from Tim Raines, yeah, on your phone.
Because I it's not so much that I'm afraid of losing on there. It's that I feel the need to like play out every ranked game that I do. Like if I have a decent game, and when I play on the phone, I like being able to just be like, okay, I got something else to do, and just close the game out. You know, like quit. So I tend not to play ranked when I'm on the phone for that reason. Sometimes I do if I know like I was at you know, the auto shop the other day, and I was stuck there, so I was actually playing ranked on my phone at that time, because I know I wasn't going anywhere, so I was just gonna sit there and play. But most of the time when I'm playing, it's like, you know, it's I'm in some situation where like I might have to like get up and go do something or go somewhere else, and if I'm just playing a, you know, a normal just like play queue game, then I could just like concede and then move on with whatever I'm doing and not feel bad about it. Where if I'm playing ranked, it doesn't even matter if I'm a low rank. I'm just like super competitive like that, where I'm like, son of a bitch. Like I have to quit, or I will like be like talking to somebody while I'm like, oh yeah, okay, with my phone in my hand, you know? And yeah, I just don't like doing that. So fair point though, Tim. I am a coward. Yeah, I am a coward when it comes to ranked. Yeah,
you nailed it 100%. What everything Hoshi just said, I just heard coward the whole time, repeating constantly. So
I'm scared
after
of
that. After that, Mythwin says, silly rules question.
Okay.
If a 1/1 creature activates, I think, activates regenerate, but then gets a -1/-1 until end of turn. Does it survive? Or is it similar to indestructible that it dies? Fuck, dude. Regenerate is so tough.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I think it's one that they talked about that they weren't going to bring that mechanic back anymore.
So I think it survives Mythwind.
Yeah,
I think that's what happens because once it regenerates, if it's like a trigger on the stack.
Yeah.
If you put regenerate on the stack, if they -1/-1 it, even if it dies, it comes back.
Yeah.
It basically like
I don't know. I
and
can't remember if it touches the graveyard or not. Right, but
I'm pretty sure it does.
I think it does as well. So if it touches the graveyard, then it does come. It would lose the counter. Yeah.
Oh, but then here's Jared Jordan right after. It does not survive. The next time this permanent would be destroyed this turn, it isn't. Instead, tap it, remove all damage from it, and remove it from combat.
Oh, okay.
-1/-1 doesn't destroy.
That's true.
Damage is just a base effect. Thank you, Jared Jordan.
There we go.
That's what happens. I just need to read, and then Mythwind said thank you.
Regenerates an old mechanic that I believe that Mark Rosewater said they are done with. They're not bringing it back anymore.
It's such a powerful. I love that mechanic. When we first played, so Hoshi and I, if you don't know us, if you haven't been listening to us long, we've been playing since the start of Magic.
Yeah.
And like Regenerate was one of those. First of all, we had no idea what we were doing because you're reading out of a rule book that was like this.
Yeah,
small.
a little pamphlet.
Yeah, and you didn't have the internet to go to.
We were playing like, crazy rules. Yeah, with so many arguments were spawned because of that stupid little rule book. We're like, no, that's not how it works. God damn it.
Yeah, it was really. Plus, we're already illiterate.
Yeah,
so like
that's true.
Us trying to understand the little bit of rules that they had, it just didn't work. But then we have one more.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go?
Oh, I was just saying, basically, like, we had like, you know, a certain friend that we played with where he just he would just like whatever he thought the card would basically do, like no matter what the rules said, he would be like, no, bro, like, yeah, it's allowed to be invincible and like nothing works against it. Like if it was his card, it could do basically like, it was like magic. It could do anything it wanted, you know?
I'll never forget Birds of Paradise.
Oh yeah.
Land of War Elves. You tap it, you put a land on the battlefield. Like, that's
yes.
Like we were great card. Magic players back in the day.
Yeah, terrible.
All right, so then finally we have binary soloist. Oh my god, I'm a illiterate.
Good job. You sounded it out real well though.
Yeah. Just got around to the podcast. The 1300 pack isn't a guaranteed rare wild card. It's a guaranteed mythic in the pack instead of a rare. And as usual, you can get a wild card sometimes. Hard to obtain. It's just the playing up to the mythics are more rare. Binary Solist, you are 100% right.
Correct. Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That we were wrong about that. We were wrong.
Honestly, you summed it up perfectly. WotC is a cocksucker, right?
Yeah, like, pretty much.
That's ultimately what. Yeah, that's what we came to the conclusion to. Binary Soulless.
Yeah. So you can buy wild cards. That was that other thing that they were gonna do, but that was that like $50 deal if you wanted to get them.
Which is available now.
Oh, is it? Okay, I think so. I think they mentioned something came out, so I don't know if that one's out yet or not. But I mean, $50 to get some wild cards, which is fuck that. Cool. Was that it?
That is it. Hey, everyone. So once again, this is Untap. If you want to enter a comment, a question, a correction, I have no problem of pointing out all of Hoshi's idiocies. I'm never wrong.
Sure, there's plenty of them, so have at it.
Yeah. Me, I'm never wrong. You can try and point out mine, but I'm generally wrong. Point them out. Tell us. We'll come back at the end and we'll talk about it. And thankfully we have Mythwind, Jared Jordan, who is always there with all the information.
Nice.
And binary soloist to point us out.
Yeah, thanks guys. Good stuff. Yeah, just throw some stuff in there. It's just meant to be like a fun little like, mailbox type thing, where you can say whatever you want and we'll read it on the show. So cool. With that, let's move into our cleanup phase.
Cleanup.
So cleanup is just a quick social media thing where we just talk about how you can get a hold of us. And so we put this out on YouTube every Sunday. We have a Discord that we have mentioned. There's a link to that in the description of the episode. And we stopped doing Twitch now, so we don't do that anymore. And then we're also on all the podcast stuff. So you can, take us to go with you wherever you're doing. One of the people on Discord showed us they were listening to it while they were up in a tree, like sawing like maple or something. I forget.
Dude, that's amazing.
Who that was. Yeah, it was really
that was
cool.
Tim Raines.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I think I was in Miami and it was like 90 degrees and like there was snow on the ground where he was. I was like, we're like in such weird different worlds right now. Yeah. That was really cool though. So those are all the ways that you can get a hold of us or like take us to go with you. And so with that, I will move into our discard phase.
Discard phase. Drink 'em up, boys.
And discard is the last phase of the show where we pound the drinks that we've been drinking and just say our final farewells. Drunken, what do you got? Any last words?
I mean, my God, I have had I think 5. This is my 5th beer. Yeah, I'm pretty hammered right now.
Nice.
So I'm ready to finish this shit off.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for watching. Like always, I very much appreciate it. I know who she does too, and I know he's about to say it. Thanks. Please put in comments, questions, and corrections, and let me know what we are doing wrong. Let us know.
Sweet. Yeah, well said. And with that, guys, we'll just see you back here in 2 weeks, right here on Mana Rant. Cheers, everybody.
Did you only drink the one beer?
Ooh, yeah. It's a tall boy, though. It's a decent size. Decent size.
Man.
I just woke up right before we did this. Oh, yeah. What's up? Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah, why?
I always just wake up before we do the podcast.
That's true.
So you can't even use that excuse.
I can't because I don't.
That's fair. I will say, so my schedule changed and now I'm waking up like a normal person. My God. I have a garden.
Oh, yeah.
I'm fucking, yeah.
Me too, man.
It's amazing. I'm just actually doing real person shit rather than waking up in the PM. Yeah.
I just watched the last episode of Rick and Morty where Morty was all old and fat and he was like, help, I keep thinking about lawn care now. And I was like, oh God, I feel the same way.
So true.
I'm like, man, my lawn looks terrible. I gotta do all this gardening bullshit. Oh man. Yeah, being old sucks. Damn it.
It does suck, yeah.
It's good stuff.
You ready?
Yeah, good
Countdown?
to go.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice.
Oh, man. Right when I breathed in to say it, something flew into my throat. God damn. It's like
probably add this in the end of the podcast. Oh, gross, dude. Definitely what people want to be hearing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay. Ready to go.
All right.